When watching a sports game, how I can tell who's going to win the game when you watch the game. So, there's always announcers, there's always people who interview coaches during intermission times, during breaks, during first quarter break, during period over, during the break during a game. They are interviewing the coaches. And the way that I can tell that who's going to win the game is when they interview the coach, how the coach sounds, like how he answers the questions. So when they're asked a question, what do you need to do to stop the defense? What do you need to do to get your offense going? What do you need to do? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever the question is, the way they answer the question, the way they go about like how they're describing what they're going to do on their plan of attack, I can hear or I can sound just like listening to them, you can literally tell from the confidence in their voice if they're going to come back and win the game or if they're going to lose the game. Like I specifically remember like 2 or 3 scenarios where I was listening to coaches talk. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're going to win the game because of the way their coach just interviewed. And then I watched the same thing. I watched a coach. I'm like, coach doesn't sound too confident. They're probably going to lose the game. And then, of course, there's been some where coach sounds neutral, where I just I'm kind of like, it could go either way, but it doesn't sound good or bad, just kind of neutral. But, for the times that I've watched, I can tell by the way the coach answers the question and how he is answering the question if they're going to win the game or if they're going to lose the game. Am I always right? Like, no, I'm not always right, but for the most part, you can pretty much tell by the way he answers the question how the game is going to go, because the team follows the coach. The coach is the leader, so the team will follow the coach. Whatever the coach does, the team will follow. So if the coach doesn't sound too confident, the team's not going to win. So it all comes to the head coach. Head coach is like the leader of the team, so he's the one who makes the decisions. He's the one who does all that stuff. And this is the number one way I can tell if a team is going to win or lose. Now, obviously, watching the game, you can tell by who's going to win the game or lose the game. Depending on how the teams are playing, that determines as well. But what I'm just talking about is just pure mindset. Just mindset training, because, your mind is like more important than the physical. Way more important than the physical. For example, the Stanley Cup playoffs just started. The Lightning just played the Canadiens. I watched that game, and I could just tell the Lightning were going to lose that game. And guess what happened? They lost the game. It's like the first period. And I could just tell by the way they're playing, they're going to lose the game. And they lost the game. And I was right. So, it's just little things you can pay attention to how a team's playing and what they're doing right and wrong to know things like that. I want to re-emphasize on this. I don't like to watch sports for entertainment, and I wouldn't recommend you doing that. The reason I like doing it is for mindset training, to see, getting inside the heads of these players, and just like, that's probably the number one thing, because, your mind is everything. So, learning new things from these players, you don't watch for entertainment, you watch for mind. What can I take away from, what can I get out of this game that's going to help me improve my life? The entertainment aspect of it is just not going to go nowhere. I mean, sports are always going to be entertainment, but there's nothing that you can really learn from a sport unless you play the sport. So, I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.